Hey loves, it's Britt, and in this video I'm talking about Uranus opposite to the Ascendant in Synastry. So first off, I want to say that this is a lot more significant if the relationship has a bit of an age gap where the natal Uranuses are not like super close together. So if you have your natal Uranus opposite to your ascendant, um, in your own natal chart, you're going to have that with the people born near to you. And then it's just like a theme of all of your relationships. And it's not super significant to just one relationship. Now, if you don't have this aspect in your natal chart and you then have it, then it's going to be much more significant. So, with all outer planet synastry, it's much more significant when there's a bit of a age gap, and it could be a small age gap, but just a little bit of difference in the natal Uranus placements. So, the next thing I want to say is if Uranus is opposite to the ascendant, it is conjunct to the descendant because they're always exactly opposite. So, this can show a relationship that begins very quickly, suddenly, shockingly, right? That's, classic Uranus is that we get together really quickly and it's this energy of this amazing, exciting, exhilarating fling. Now, you could have this aspect with other aspects in synastry that will show that this relationship lasts and is grounded. But this in itself is not a stable connection because with Uranus, you never know. And when Uranus is aspecting the angles, you really never know when Uranus is conjunct the seventh house. You really don't know what's going to happen here. Usually, the ascendant person or the seventh house person is going to really feel attracted to the Uranus person. They're going to see them as kind of like this erratic, eccentric genius that they feel compelled to partner with and kind of like be like the sidekick. Even Uranus in the seventh house, synastry in general, it's like there's this energy of the ascendant person really seeing the Uranian energy in the Uranus person. So the Uranus person, if they're not particularly like Uranus dominant, they might not actually be like that aware of their own Uranus energy depending on like how it's aspected in their chart, but the ascendant person sees that in them and they see them as brilliant even, and exciting, and there's a real feeling of like gain. At least at first the ascendant person can really feel like they are gaining a lot of perspective from the Uranus person, like they're gaining wisdom, or there's just something really exciting about them. And it could be something simple like just that the way the Uranus person talks, it's very clear that they're coming from a different background. See, especially if this is occurring in an age gap relationship, we're coming from different backgrounds, and like the generational planets show those differences. And so when someone is coming from a different generation and they're having their Uranus in a different sign than you and in your seventh house, it is a very exciting, exhilarating feeling because it's just like maybe you don't know that many people with that energy, and it can be very attractive to the house person to have that and to be around that. Now, at the same time, they can also feel like the Uranus person is unstable. And it could even be simple things like the Uranus person is just hard to reach. Like maybe they don't answer the phone, or they're late, or they're like sometimes they're there and sometimes they're not. There could be something like directly unstable about the Uranus person like that they're kind of flaky, right? Or it could just be that their energy is like sometimes it's really on for the relationship and sometimes it's off. Or like this could show up in a relationship where the Uranus person is not physically there all the time and the ascendant person will have to kind of just make do with that. um, those are some of the like potential challenges. Now, what can end up happening for the ascendant person, we'll talk about the Uranus person too, but for the ascendant person, they can end up going through a transformation of their idea of relationships and relating with others. So the Uranus person can be this catalyst because Uranus is like this amazing exotic genius energy, right? So having that in your seventh house opposing your ascendant right on your partnering angle, right? The house person can really go through like a crazy revolution and gain a new perspective about how to actually be in a relationship, or how they actually want to be in a relationship, what they want that relationship to look like. So they're really going to see qualities in the Uranus person that are what they want in a partner. Now, whether the Uranus person is going to actually be the one to give those qualities to them in a partnership, that will be shown by other things. It might just be a quick, activating, exotic fling, right? When we have this contact. And it might be something more. Now, if it does end up being a stable relationship, there's still going to always be an element of excitement and the Uranus person being kind of out there or a little bit unstable or weird even to the ascendant person. Like there's quirkiness about them that actually the ascendant person is attracted to and likes, but it can also be a bit destabilizing. Like if the ascendant person is someone that likes things to be the same and likes a routine and like then it's more irritating. If the ascendant person is someone who is a more free spirit, they're going to just love the way this feels. So yeah, it's a really interesting one to see. The Uranus person feels like they can be themselves and they really can feel seen by the ascendant person. They can feel like putting your Uranus into someone's seventh house. Like I really do feel like house overlays go both ways, even though, I mean, it's commonly said that, you know, it's the house person that actually feels it. I do feel like when you're putting your planet in someone's house, because it falls there in the Synastry overlay, you kind of feel what it feels like to be in that house. At least that's how I experience it, which is why, like, you know, even when it's your planet falling in someone's seventh house, you're still feeling that energy. So Uranus here, you know, opposite the ascendant, they're feeling that the house person is like a proper partner. Like there's someone that can really see them in that Uranian energy and even bring it out of them more. They can feel super accepted. This can be an aspect of like a fling or an affair where the Uranus person feels like they can be more themselves in this relationship rather than the relationship they're in or something like that, because it has that effect of like really opening up the Uranus person and allowing them to express that energy. So if they've been repressing that energy, if they've been not expressing that energy, then they get in this relationship with this person, this ascendant person, who like lets them be themselves and be free. And it can be really not addictive is not the right word, but it can definitely feel really good for the Uranus person too, to be opposite to the ascendant person. So it's an interesting contact to have. It can be more unstable, and the ascendant person can want to hold down the Uranus person more than the Uranus person wants to be held down, but the Uranus person definitely equally feels excited and exhilarated and open. There's a real openness with this contact, and the Uranus person can really end up helping the ascendant person see some truths about themselves that maybe they're projecting, because like the seventh house is what we project, the DC, right? The seventh house cusp. It's like we think other people are that, but the Uranus person can really shock and awaken the ascendant person into realizing that they in fact are that, and to like integrate the polarity, right, of the ascendant descendant. So yeah, it can end up being very worthwhile and beneficial for both people, but other things are going to show whether this is a long-term stable union, because Uranus alone will not show that, but it'll show fun, and it'll show openness, and even in a hard aspect, it does show kind of like a comfortable uncomfortable energy, although I would say this one is more comfortable than the square of Uranus to Ascendant. But yeah, um, it's fun. I'd love to know your experience of this synastry aspect. If you have had it in synastry, what has it been like for you? I'd love to know. And keep your requests coming, you guys. I'm adding them all to my list. Thanks so much for watching. Okay, talk soon. Bye.